What up?
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome.
We're the Sad Babes. You know our names by now, probably not.
Hopefully. If it's your first time, welcome to the shit show.
Yeah. I went out for drinks Friday. I kind of mentioned before on the show, I've been in a weird space, like a space of slippage and change. And I hadn't been feeling like great about myself, and I went out for drinks the other night, and I looked at myself in the bathroom mirror, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're doing good."
What were you wearing? Red usually helps me with that for whatever reason. I don't have.
Well, it wasn't even what I was wearing. It was just, looking at myself not in sweatpants or pajamas.
Yeah, that's a real thing. If you have the energy to get up and get dressed, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah,
but sometimes you just gotta stay in sweatpants.
What sucks is that, like, prior to the world changing, I was like a person who would like never wear sweatpants or t-shirts or things like that.
Yeah, I've never really seen. I didn't even know you owned any. Like, you're just usually naked.
Loungewear became a thing for me.
Why? What made you change your mind? What made you put on clothes?
And I mean, I had nowhere to go. It's cold. I mean, why not wear something cute in the house?
Okay. So you had a good time Friday night?
Yeah. I got drunk. I had some really good food. The service was really slow, but the food was really good.
Fucking service sucks lately. Like everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, like post-COVID. Not that we're after COVID, but.
So I want to bring this up to you and the audience, but you especially, because you ran a restaurant and all that stuff. I've been lately having this connection about tipping and tipping culture.
Okay.
So I traditionally was someone who always tips 20%. You know, waiters and busboys and all that, they have a very hard job. And then I don't know when I started to notice it, but I started noticing that like everybody was asking for tips now. Like people had tip jars for like pickup service and things like that. And so I was thinking, I had this thought, right? I'm going to present you in the audience a scenario.
Okay.
Let us know what you think about this all. So let's say, right, you and I are out at a restaurant, right?
As we have many times. Yeah.
Let's say we both get 2 drinks, an app, an entree apiece, and we split a dessert. And our bill comes up to $180, right?
That's so cheap. Okay.
Now, let's say a couple comes in, they sit next to us, same section, same waiter. And they both get 2 drinks each. They both get an app, they both get an entree, they both split a dessert. But their bill comes up to $75. Let's say you and I both,
where are we eating?
It doesn't matter. Pay attention.
Iowa?
Stay on course. So let's say, they got the burgers and fries and we decided to get shrimp or something. Or we decided to get top shelf liquor. They went with whatever the house was serving that night. Now, we both get our bills. It's time to pay the bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we expected to tip more than a table next to us just because the items we chose were more expensive?
I see. This is a good point. I never really thought about this because...
Like, why am I tipping based on the food costs when the waiter didn't prepare the food? They took the same number of steps for our table as they did theirs.
This is true.
Why are we expected to tip more?
Point. That is a really good point. I never really thought... I don't know, like, the origin of tipping and, like, why that started and why, like, 18% is standard.
Oh, 20% is standard in Philly.
20% has now become standard in LA too.
Yeah.
Like it's already built into the bill in a lot of places. And we have 4% healthcare tax or tip percentage, whatever, on top of that so that they can afford healthcare for their workers, which is interesting. I'm not mad about paying for those things. I just hate not allowed an option. Like maybe they were terrible and I want to give them 18%, you know, like I don't even have that choice anymore. Or maybe they were really good and I want to give them more, but you don't even have the option to tip at some places. Every restaurant is a little bit different, but I'm seeing it more and more standard that it's like 20% already built into the bill. So people don't have to do math. I like tipping extra when allowed and when like it's good, but I really never thought about like why is it based on
the food
price?
Some
people I guess it's still the same things because some people take the tax and like double it or something, which I don't do that, but
no,
but the tax is still based on whatever you ordered,
right?
I guess maybe like places will like their menu, you don't usually have a big discrepancy in prices on the menu. So unless you're just ordering like a couple of appetizers.
But even still, let's say the couple next to us got one thing. Why are we still expected to tip more?
Yeah. This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is messing with my brain right now.
Yeah. So
I didn't nap today.
I've been like, you know, fiddling with the idea of just like flat tipping wherever I go. Like everyone gets $10, kiss my ass. Like I'm not.
I mean, that's kind of how it is in other places. Like when I get my car washed, like I just do the same amount every single time, even if I get like my mats done or like or whatever, like if I get something extra.
Yeah.
Because they inevitably still do the same shitty job.
Like if I'm ordering from like Instacart, it makes sense to me to tip based off of what the overall cost of my groceries were. Because they had to carry that shit. Yeah. And they had to find it and all that. That makes complete sense to me. But why am I tipping the waiter more?
We need to start a revolution. That's the only obvious. I feel like I'm so missing popular. Something. Like how is this?
We want to tip less.
Not true.
Power to the consumer.
Just wanted to make sense. How has this slipped by so many people and me for so many years? And I never thought twice about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are being punished for ordering steak and seafood.
That's what I'm saying.
What it even makes maybe they're splitting it with the kitchen. Like that would be the only time that it makes more sense is if you're splitting it with everybody and everybody's just getting a percentage of the tilt, which I hate.
Well, I was about to say like that. I know that happens, but that should not be standard. I don't think it is, and it shouldn't happen.
A lot of places do that. I don't know if it's standard, but a lot of places just like pull tips and like if that bitch sucks over there, I don't want her getting part of your tip. Or if you suck, I don't want you to get her good tip either. Like you suck. Yeah. I'm real upset. I wish you didn't bring this to my attention. I'm going to think about this all the time now.
If any of the listeners have an argument
solution
for why tips are based off of food prices, let me know, because I'm really confused and maybe a little bit more upset than I should be. But I also am a person that spends a lot when I go out to dinner, so I have a vested interest in this logic.
I have to be forgetting something. Like there must be a reason for this.
There can't.
Why have we been doing this for so long?
Yeah.
When did tipping start?
I don't know.
We have to look. I need to do so much research now. The history of tipping, how this began. There's probably some misogyny behind it.
Like all good things.
Yeah, like, oh, her boobs are bigger. I'm gonna put a couple of bucks in there. Like that's
maybe.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's where bounce a quarter off that ass came from.
It makes more sense to me to tip based off of tits than it does to tip based off of food prices.
Well, that wouldn't explain why I got such good tips when I worked, but my little A cup.
It's all right. It's all right. There's a place for all that. Speaking of A cups, what size do you like your titties?
Like if I were to get implants?
No, like on a lady.
Oh. I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I'm much less picky about women, like physically, than I am about men. Like the men that I'm into are very like, you have to fit. Like I got boxes, and I don't really like that about myself, but like physically I have boxes that you need to check. Women, I'm just like, oh, she's hot. Like I like the brunette. I like the blonde. I don't like red hair, but I feel like there's some sort of genetics going on there, like Darwinism. Like you can't fuck your own kind because your population is already way too small. But yeah, men, no blondes. But women, I'm not picky. So I'm not picky about boobies either. Boobies.
I've seen some of the women that you've been attracted to or hooked up with, and as I feel about your taste in men, I think it's awful. I think that you have terrible taste.
Yeah. I'm sure you don't like my taste in women either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have terrible taste.
I just have terrible taste. Yeah. Yeah.
Except for in cats.
I'm with you on that one. What the fuck? I feel like my taste in women has gotten better over the years. I've matured a little bit.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Take my word for it. Do that. But men has not changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to also have very narrow, I don't know if picky is necessarily the right word, but I used to have like very narrow criteria of like physical criteria. I think I may have mentioned like how I had to like sort of, I didn't have to, but over time I've sort of loosened up on like height and different things like that. I mean, I think when you're younger, you have more of like an idealized notion of what like being attractive is and like what being in a relationship is and what is accessible to you. I kind of feel bad for kids these days because they don't, like when we were on MySpace, right? Like
I never actually had a MySpace account, but I've been on MySpace.
Really?
Like I've logged into other people's and I know what it's all about.
I was so deep into MySpace. Oh, I was deep.
But you've always been like into those types of things. Yeah, into the internets.
Yeah. No, I have. I remember my first time using AIM.
I was heavy on that. Heavy on the AIM.
I love that shit. What was it? MSN, IMVU. Where are the other ones? All the other shit.
AOL. Yeah.
Yeah. I was all up in that. But the kids these days, they don't. I mean, they see each other in school every day, sure, but
do they? Or are they just like looking at screens?
Oh, I guess that's true. Now,
I never see kids looking up. They're always looking down. They're always walking into me, like looking down, staring at their phone.
Really? I guess I don't interact with children a lot these days, but I feel like
I'm just like outside all the time, so
they're not seeing like real depictions of things, of anything, like of what people look like, of how people live, and I know that's why. True.
Yeah,
I experienced it in my 30s. Like it's already suffering.
Yeah, I would have a serious complex if I was younger and dealing with all of the social media. I was like really adamant about not doing social media for a long time. And then I've slowly succumbed to all of it. And I hate it. But also, how do you function? Like, it
can be good and bad. Like I appreciate social media. Like there have been like certain renaissances that like social media have facilitated that have been great. Like for example, like as a Black woman with like coily hair, before YouTube, I really didn't have like knowledge or education on how to take care of my hair. And it was like Black YouTubers, in their rooms, shitty cameras, filming in a bathroom. And it's like, oh, here we are. I'm learning something. Or like being, like a larger woman who doesn't have like, I don't necessarily always see women who are shaped like me. But, going on social media and finding women who are like, oh, like that's my body and she's beautiful and she's doing really well. So it can be good, sometimes, but I think overwhelmingly it is not good.
Well, I think that's the algorithm too. Like you find stuff that you like and then your feed becomes all of that. And then you kind of get sucked into this vortex of like all of the same shit all the time, which if you're like a kid in Idaho and you know 20 people and like that's the size of your town and nobody looks like you or acts like you or whatever, or you're like not into anybody, but you can go online and you're like your community is there. I think that's really great. But then, there's a lot of like vanity stuff. I think that's why kids being like preteens, like, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they look like adults. It's fucking terrifying. Like I can't do makeup. Their makeup is so much better. Their hair is better. And I'm like,
that's YouTube. That's YouTube nuts. And TikToks and the Instagrams. It's all that shit.
Yeah. There's so much information and like it moves so fast. It blows my mind.
Also Amazon, where they can get all this shit like for cheap.
Yeah, and fast.
Did you have a Tumblr?
I did not have a Tumblr. I never really got into Tumblr either. But I know all about like Tumblr girls and that whole like look. I
had a Tumblr. I used it exclusively for porn. And then when they banned, quote unquote, banned porn, I immediately deleted my Tumblr.
But like, why? Like, why? Who cares how people are using your platform? As long as it's legal, like, who gives a shit?
Well, I think that was part of the problem.
Like, there was a bunch of child porn.
Yeah, essentially, yes.
All right. Well,
but I mean, you regulate it. Don't punish me. Don't punish the good perverts.
Make me put my fucking age in there or whatever. Lately, logging into like any website where you have to put in the year, it feels like Wheel of Fortune. You're just like that scrolling forever, trying to get to that date.
Like this year or last year, I don't know what day it is.
Me either.
For the first time, I experienced not being the youngest person at work, like at my job. And I'm just like, and these kids are like, oh, I'm 20. I just turned 24. And I'm like, suck a dick.
I don't like that.
24-year-old piece of shit.
Not that I want to be the youngest person in the group, but when I realize that there are people younger than me, and I'm like, that time has passed. Like there's some sort of like nostalgic depression that comes along with realizing how old I am. And I'm not that old, but just like it feels like 24, 25 was so long ago. And also, I fucking missed out on shit because I was just like not paying attention and just miserable. And this is still true, and I'm going to say this again in another 10 years, but you know, like just thinking about what my life was like when I was 24 and 25. And I was such a shithead, and like I didn't enjoy any of it. But it was so much better than what I have now.
I would say this time of my life is definitely the best. I mean,
that is the goal, right? To go in that direction.
I mean, I was, you know, when I was 25, I was doing, you know, okay for myself. But, you know, I don't like not being financially stable. So I'll take that age and experience over youth. What I don't like about not being, it's not that I necessarily want to be the youngest, but I don't, I guess it is a depressive feeling. It makes me feel like I shouldn't be here. Like, oh, like this is too young. Like this means I need to move on. Or, you know what I mean? Like that feeling. Like when you go into like a party or a club and everyone's super young, it's like, I don't belong here. I've clearly passed this point in my life. Like, it's not for me anymore. I don't like that feeling. I don't like. That's a shitty feeling.
I think like the past few years too, I've lost a lot. Like I've lost people. There's been a lot of clients that I've lost. And it's just hard to kind of grasp that and realize like how fragile time is and life is. And I just like, I don't know. I like miss.
Time is running out.
Yeah, like, and it's like a realization that time is running out, and like you didn't take advantage of stuff, or you didn't appreciate stuff when it was here. And like, what are you not taking advantage of when are you not appreciating now?
That's part of the thing I'm going through is like not being able to appreciate the present. And then
it's hard
later on feeling like I missed out because I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
It is hard. It's very difficult.
I get why adults
that way. I don't know.
I get why adults are like, these are the best years of your life and like enjoy this and all of that. Like I get what they're saying now when they were saying that, even though those were definitely not the best years when they were telling me that they were their best years. But you know, like thinking about that and like, oh, I already peaked and like now I'm headed downhill. Like it doesn't get any better from here on out. And I'm not saying that's true specifically for either of us, but just like having those thoughts, like, was that the best time of my life? Was like college really the best time of my life and it's just going to get worse?
I get afraid of like when I'm getting dressed or like buying clothes, I'm like, is this too young? Like, do I have to stop shopping here now? Like, is it even appropriate? Am I dressed like a 30-something-year-old person right now?
I mean, I guess a part of that is like, who cares? Like, if you want to dress like you're 30 when you're 60, as long as you do it well and you're not trashy, then who cares? Or if you want to dress like you're 60 when you're 30, then who cares? But just do it well. You were telling me, now I've been so self-conscious since you said this.
I do that to people.
Yeah, you do. You like you not intentionally, but you'll say something and then it makes me second guess it. I was telling you about getting your nose pierced because you used to have your nose pierced, and then you were like, I feel like I'm too old for that now. And like I just got mine again, so now I have two. But I was like, am I too old for that? Like it made me start thinking, like, at what age does that occur?
I think
like,
that
no rules for this. But
your piercing is like I had a septum piercing. I feel like your piercing is just like a regular like.
But like, where did this idea come from? That like,
I don't know.
To have your septum pierced once you're 30, you got to take that out. You can't.
I don't know. I don't know where that thought came from for me. I don't know. I got my septum pierced when I was like 24, 25. And I took it out for like, I had a surgery and I took it out and I just never put it back in. And yeah, it got to a point where it's like, I don't know if I think I'd feel silly maybe a little bit with my septum.
Well, that it made me think, like, am I silly for having this? Do I look silly? Are people not taking me seriously? And then I just go and get more tattoos. So, you know, no one's ever going to take me seriously. But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should do something fun to make me feel alive.
I mean, piercings are so, you know, they're impermanent. So there is that aspect to it too. Like if you don't like it, you can always take it out. Or if you do feel like you outgrow it, you can take it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't really, I mean, you could like Jeffrey Dahmer your tattoos, I guess, but most people don't do that.
I know who Jeffrey, did he like?
You could just cut your skin off. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, he liked to eat some people. So you could take your little tattoos off. Hopefully they're not too big.
Well, jeez. Could you, if you were on a deserted island, could you eat a person and stay alive?
Man, I don't even eat meat, and it is an option. So I don't know. I don't even know if that should come into play. I feel like if you need to survive, you can do whatever. But here's the thing about this scenario. I've thought about this. If you're on a deserted island, like you can't. There's got to be other food there. It can't just be humans. Do you watch? You probably don't watch Yellow Jackets.
No.
They're in northern Canada. You don't really need to watch the show. I'll just explain what I'm thinking about. They're in northern Canada. There is no food around except for like elk, if these teenage girls could catch them.
Right.
And they have like no weapons or whatever. So, you know, in that scenario, you're probably going to have to eat another human because like there really is, like you're going to chew on some bark, you know? Yeah. But you're in fucking Tahiti and you can't find a coconut? Like, come on.
You can't just live off of coconuts, though.
Tom Hanks, I don't believe you. It's not just you and Wilson. There are other people there. But anyway, yeah. I think I could if I had to, but it would not be my first choice. And I would not enjoy it.
There, you know the story of the soccer team on the Appalachian. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like that's some intense shit. I was like looking at the pictures and you like see some of the skeletons in the pictures. I think I would really need to do some like mental somersaults for like that to happen.
Yeah, and I wonder, like there is a certain amount of delirium that comes with starvation. So I wonder if in that like altered high diluted state, you could be like, this is fucking delicious and just like turn into a cannibal. I wonder about, you know, like serial killers and cannibals and like people that not like cultural cannibals, but like people that grow up like in America or in an area where you don't need to be a cannibal and there is no like social precedence to be a cannibal and you're just like, I wonder what he tastes like how does it start on your own body and then you're like, wow, I taste really good, but like I only have one body, I can't just eat myself alive, so I'm gonna have to go out and kill people. Like I am fascinated with how those things come to be.
I think it's got to be something to do with I think there's like a term for it, but just like that impulse control, you know, like when you have to stop yourself from like jumping in front of a bus or some shit. You're just like, or like, you know, you're standing somewhere tall and you're like,
I could just fall from here. Yeah. I think that's called suicidal tendencies, but
no, but I'm not just.
No, I know what you're
like. You know, yeah. Like, I don't know. You see somebody, and you're like, I could just push this person down the stairs, like right now. Like
those are intrusive thoughts. Yeah, I have those.
Intrusive thoughts. Yeah.
I those are terrifying and entertaining at the same time.
Every time I'm on a train platform, I go through like what I would do if someone tried to push me onto the tracks. Okay.
So, all right. So there's like try to push you and then actually ends up pushing you and the train is coming. So like there's levels to this.
Coming, I flatten myself under the train, like in the middle.
Are you sure that like I haven't been in a train station in a minute. Are you sure we have no public transit here that you'll like you have enough clearance?
People have done that. Like it's happening.
Okay.
Like
then why are so many people getting hit by trains? Like are they just not? They don't have enough time to get out of the way.
Yeah, they're either, you know, they've jumped on purpose or they were high and they fell. Or
there was some woman a couple weeks ago who got pushed and the train ran her over.
She probably didn't know to lay down.
Or she just got pushed at the last second.
Yeah. Like the only reason why I know the lay down trick is because someone actually did it. Like there was a guy, this happened years ago in Philly, but like a little kid had fallen and the guy jumped down and he like laid on top of the kid and the train went over them. And I'm like,
wow,
what am I doing if I fall? What
if someone tries to push you and doesn't succeed?
Yeah. I'm throwing them. I've already decided that. That's because I'm going to have momentum, right? And you have.
What if they're too big to throw?
Well, then we'll just be, you know, we'll both be fine because we'll just be like both on the ground. You know, we'll both fall over. Yeah. But I'm definitely inverting that momentum and tossing them. You know, your life is forfeit now. You tried to come for me.
Oh my God, I love these scenarios. These are so good.
I also, you know, I think about what I would do in a zombie apocalypse, which
every day.
Listen, I know
plan for that shit every day.
I know people don't want to hear this, but it's getting more and more plausible every day, y'all. I'm just saying. Just saying. But I know exactly, like, you know, like, because I like to think about it two ways. I like to think about it like the fun way, where I'm like a badass, right? On some Walking Dead shit. And then I like to think of it the practical way, like in real life, me right now, what would I do if a zombie apocalypse happened? I already have my plan. It's very simple.
I love how matter of fact this is. Okay. Yeah. Zombie apocalypse plan.
Yeah.
Go.
There is a convenience store that's next to me. No, you gotta listen.
I love how this is starting out.
There's a convenience store that's next to me, and it's not like, you know, like a bummy. It's like one of those convenience stores that literally has everything.
They got like a lot of shit.
Batteries to like fucking food. You know, it has everything.
I think I've been to that one.
Yeah. And it's subterranean, so it's like underground.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one entrance. It has 3 doors.
Are you sure?
Yeah, all the windows are barred. And there's a back room if I needed to somehow get safe. It's also extremely narrow, so highly defensible. In the cut, can hide if for some reason I get overtaken, and I can survive in there for at least a year because it's all processed food. Probably longer than that. Solid plan.
This is exciting.
Solid plan.
Wow. Well, what are you going to do? Like, people eventually are going to find you there, and they're either going to want to break in, and they've already, you know, been bitten, or there are zombies. They sniff you out.
That's where so it has 3 doors. One of them is a metal door. Then there is like a second, you know, like the bulletproof door thing, and then there's a third metal like commercial door. And then the windows are the same. It's like triple pane glass and like metal bars over the windows, which you would have to climb down into. So like you would have to either come foot first or head first. And I got you. I'm cutting off your feet if you try to climb in that way.
But you would need like a machete or something. Do they have machetes in there too?
Not in there, but you know, I'm definitely gathering weapons. It's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's always somebody in LA like Man spotted with a machete. Like, why?
Where's
the stockpile? Why haven't you sold that? You look hungry. Like, why? So many questions. Why are you naked? I don't know what the fuck I would do if I was here.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really. I have so many windows.
Yeah, you're a goner, man.
I only have one entrance and exit.
And there's no place for you to like conveniently get supplies.
No. There's no cellar. Even if I got on the roof, it's easy to get up and get up. Like, you can easily hop my fence.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say any of this. I'm gonna get robbed. I have zero protection. I think about this all the time. Even my windows, they're so easy to break into. If you just had a thin enough knife, you flip that latch and you're in.
Maybe we shouldn't tell people.
So easy. It's done. It's done. Everybody, it's so easy to get into my place.
You're a goner. Goodbye. It was nice knowing you. I'll be fine for at least until the government, gets it together.
Oh, right, because the government's gonna help.
Well, that's the thing about the zombie movies is that it's a little impractical to think that the U.S. military couldn't, in no way. Weapons. Like we have so many manless weapons as well. You know what I mean? Like, send a couple machines in there to kill the zombies. You lose no one.
I think it just grows too fast. Like, everybody's just eating each other so quickly. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the military's infected and then the people with the weapons are useless. I'm waiting for Woody Harrelson.
Could you kill somebody if you needed to?
Again, I feel like I could if I absolutely had to.
Yeah.
Depends on how, some days now I'm so enraged that I'm I'm going to fucking murder someone. But I think it depends on how and how, the scenario and, is someone strangling me and I have a knife in my hand, I'm probably going to stab him. But am I going to punch him and fight? I don't know. It depends on my mental health that day. I'm going to be finally, fucking take me out. I've been waiting for this. But if I had somehow biologically got the will to live, then I feel I could do what I had to do.
Yeah. My plan, my zombie plan works for like I said, Walking Dead zombies. It works for that. It doesn't work so much for 28 days later zombies.
Yeah, the superhuman ones. Yeah.
I'm taking myself out. I'm not dealing with that shit.
I wonder that their brainstem is intact. If we're doing zombie anatomy and physiology, their brainstem is intact. So I wonder how conscious they are.
You know how long I can talk about? Do you?
Oh, dude, zombies are
I love them.
They're so amazing. They're just the best creature. And it's so plausible. You're right. It's literally just a virus. And it's one person. There's a show on Netflix. It's a Korean horror show, and it's about zombies.
All Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
I watched it. Hated it. I hated the show.
You hated it? Why? When did you start hating it?
You want to talk about that? Do you want to go over it?
It's that bad?
Do you want to? Welcome to the show, everybody. This is a review of All of Us Are Dead, the Korean zombie thriller, available now on Netflix. I am your reviewer, Ryan Hollis. I give it 7 thumbs down.
Jesus. Okay. Are you talking about in comparison to other zombie shows or just across the board?
Period. It's not good.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Break it down.
All right. Okay.
You ruin it for me.
Shit, I'm trying to think of it with without giving spoilers though.
Spoiler alert. It's gonna happen.
Okay, so
fast forward.
There are so many unnecessary deaths. Well, let's start with the writing. right? Not once during this entire period do they show the characters like looking for food or trying to gather supplies. The kids are trapped in this school for like 3-4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And they never like, so it's just like poor, like none of it is plausible. Like it's just poor writing. Like I said, and then like there's so many unnecessary deaths that happen. The zombie like lore isn't consistent. Like sometimes people will be bitten and they'll turn into one type of zombie, but like not other times.
Mm-hmm.
None of the good, like nothing, none of the characters are likable except for like maybe one person.
Yeah, that is true.
And I hate that about like modern entertainment. That's probably why I like really don't watch like TV and movies, is because like people are just like hell bent on like writing relatable quote unquote characters, and that just means unlikable. Like these are just unlikable people.
Yeah.
And the ending, it just wraps up so unsatisfyingly, like so quickly, and like there's no satisfaction like whatsoever. Like not so they manage to an extent get some control over what's happening, but they never talk about how that actually happens. Like it just happens.
There
and then
is...
the best character just disappears from the story altogether.
I didn't realize that until you just said it.
Maybe I don't know if we have the same opinion on who the best character is.
Oh, well, that is true.
Yeah. I also don't know the characters by any of their names.
Yeah, I had a hard time keeping track.
There's just so many people. Like,
yeah.
Like it's yeah.
They definitely could have like focused on one character in each episode, and then if they wanted to have that many, and then like done the whole thing. There's definitely. I was really excited when I thought it was a movie. I was really excited when I saw it was a series, because I was like, they can actually play all of this out and make it so much better. Because there's so many times, and they don't.
And they spend fucking 60% of the show focused on these kids in a classroom doing nothing.
Just watching. Nothing. Yeah, I still love it. I think probably because I love zombies and zombie movies and zombie everything and Korean horror.
Yeah. Like Train to Busan was great. I love that.
But as if you're comparing it as a whole, it's not the best, but I still love it. If you're comparing it to other zombie movies or shows, it's great, I still think.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think's great about it?
Well, okay, so like in comparison, like normally the writing is so much worse than that. I'm not saying the writing's great. I'm saying it's usually so much worse than that. I felt like their like special effects and like the
effects are great. The zombies look fantastic.
Yeah, and like the choreography and all of that stuff. There was a few times that I was like, okay, like there's some continuity errors, but I'm a stickler for that. So I usually let that go because I just find continuity errors everywhere. The acting wasn't horrible. Normally the acting is laughable.
I think the acting was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I will say that. Yeah.
Like just the filming, the filming in general, like it wasn't like there wasn't bad camera work, there wasn't bad like scenery shots, like there was just a lot of it that was good in comparison to zombie movies. But if we're comparing it to like fucking The Departed and I don't know, I can't think of good movies. Godfather.
On merits, it's not a good series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Who do you think the best character is?
Let me look up the cast, because I don't remember. Oh my God, there's going to be a second season?
Well, yeah, there has to be.
Well, there doesn't have to be because people are jerks.
It is Netflix. You're right. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know now. I did like the science teacher a lot. He had a lot of issues. Like the older guy. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, they didn't use their names in the show. So, like, I didn't know who anyone was.
He was just the science teacher.
Yeah, like, he was just a science teacher.
The only named, I think, the only was Miss Park, right? Or was it Miss Park or Miss Park? I can't remember.
They don't even list her in here. Where is the actual? I need an actual IMDb page. This is not accurate. Google.
Well, what was the character?
My favorite?
Yeah.
The science teacher.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He was probably my favorite. I was gonna say the girl that was not annoying, but let me tell you, the IMDb page is not any help either because literally all of them have 3 names.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm going to know the actor's name or the character's name.
There was only one that I knew only because she was in Squid Game. Yeah, no, I'm no help.
Yeah, you're not. That's fine.
Big fucking surprise.
To me, the best character is the girl that was part of the bully crew.
I hated her.
Really?
Yeah.
So I hated her initially, but I liked that she got to. I liked her in the end after she changed.
Did all her shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that part.
It was like too far gone at that point.
And I like that she
you don't get redemption.
That fucking coward. I like that part a lot.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
That was another thing I don't like about the show. All the impactful deaths happen off scene.
That is true.
That's really annoying.
There's so many deaths, so there was really no reason for that.
Like that guy deserved
fucking zombies.
Like an extended scene of like gore. Like he was so bad. But yeah, don't like the show.
What's your favorite zombie movie? Or series or whatever.
Yeah, my favorite zombie movie probably is 28 Days Later. Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
It's so good. It's really, really, really good. I used to be a big Walking Dead fan.
I read the comics and hated. I just felt like apparently this changed over time. But when I started watching the first season, I didn't get that far into it because I just felt like they took the name and the premise and they just like did whatever the fuck they wanted with it. I was so aggravated.
I used to be like a super fan of the show, and I think from the beginning it was supposed to be different. With what's his name? Robert Kirkman, something Kirkman. The writer has like come out and said that a lot of the choices that were made on the show he thought were better than the choices he had made in the book. So I think that's a good endorsement. I stopped watching, like I even was like a defender of like season 2. Like that's how much of a fan I was. I stopped watching when I stopped liking the show when Negan came on, which I know is an unpopular opinion because so many people loved him. I hated that character, but I stopped watching when they announced that Andrew Lincoln was leaving.
Yeah.
I literally watched the show for Rick. Like, it's his story. Like, why would I continue watching it after that?
Right. No, for real. I don't understand. Like, I get if you have something that's really good and really popular, you want to keep doing it. But how about just go and do something else and make that also really good? Like, I'm not a proponent for, like, let's drag this out as long as possible because we need some money off of it. No, fuck that.
It's like, and it's also like, shouldn't it be like regular life by now? Like in that universe, like it's been.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they have a handle on it? Like,
yeah, there was it was really drawn out. The comic was fucking amazing. If anyone is, I'm not like a big comic book reader, but my friend was like,
it's a graphic novel, not a comic.
Okay, well, it was sold to me as a comic book, So that's what I call it. Graphic novel.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm surviving. You're not. It's fine. No worries.
The Googler calls it a comic book series.
Googler?
The Googler.
Aren't you the Googler?
Well,
you're the person doing the Googling? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, 28 Days Later. I do love, I don't really love comedy horror, but that is taking off lately. And
I mean, I love Zombieland.
Zombieland's fucking
great. Shaun of the Dead. Like that's a perfect movie. Shaun of the Dead is definitely like
I think I only love comedy horror when it's zombies.
I was trying to say when it's funny. Like it's actually funny.
Well, yeah. No, also that, because a lot of times they are not.
It's not funny at all.
And they're not scary either.
No.
Like you need to have, you really need to have both.
What's the show? Army of the Dead, where it's just like over the top. What's the word I'm looking for? Camp, like very campy.
Yeah, no.
The zombies like have sex and reproduce and shit.
Yeah, no, trying too hard.
No bueno. No, thank you.
Wow.
What?
Fucking zombies, man.
Yeah. I'm ready. I hope you all are ready out there for the end of the world.
Didn't we already have it? Some people argue that
maybe.
Y2K was the end of the world, maybe and we are now in purgatory.
I mean, I definitely, we're definitely in the darkest timeline. Like, we're definitely in that. But
maybe the Dark Ages. This is the Dark Ages.
Maybe we really have all been living in purgatory. That would make so much more sense than whatever the fuck this is.
It really would. But there's not enough zombies in my life if this is fucking purgatory. I guess everyone's purgatory is supposed to be different.
Yeah.
If you look at the biblical sense. But
this definitely sucks.
It definitely sucks.
Definitely apt to my suffering, whatever this is. But thank you everybody for
I hope everybody else likes zombies.
Yeah, I hope y'all
If you don't, let us know what your favorite I don't know,
monster?
Yeah, creature is.
Yeah, no, I mean, besides vampires, but I like them for other reasons. Good night, everybody.
Adios.